Hi, I'm Kylie Anne Neal, founder of Kan Culture, and welcome to Kan Talk Kulture. In this podcast, I sit down with some of Australia's most progressive founders and CEOs to explore the heart of their company cultures, what drives them, what they value, and what it's really like to work for the companies they lead. You'll also find occasional episodes packed with practical HR insights to help you build safer, stronger, and more trusted workplaces. So whether you're a new team member getting to know your workplace, curious about creating remarkable company cultures, or just wanting to know more about implementing HR best practice, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Welcome back to Kan Talk Kulture. I'm your host, Kylie Anne Neal, and today joining me is Josh Yates. Josh, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me, Kylie. Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to have you. So normally I would do an introduction, but today I want you to introduce yourself because you're a man of many hats and we are here to talk about company culture. So we will get to that, but let's hear your story.
It's a bit of a long-winded one, so I won't bore everyone. But proud Southern Gold Coast resident, as you know. Love life down here. Got a small family with the wife and the two kids, a 4-year-old and 2-year-old, so they keep me quite busy. And then about 4 years ago, decided to take the plunge with my business partner, David Lightfoot, who's based up in Brizzy, and we started Landy Advisory. So not many people know this, but Landy actually stands for Lightfoot and Yates. We thought that was a bit, accountant, a bit lawyer, so which is a bit boring. Apologies for any accountants or lawyers listening, but someone quite creatively came up with and just shortened that, one of our graphic design friends in the industry, and called ourselves Landy. So I've been on that journey, but I guess career-wise before Landy, I've worked all through, the finance sector, got into the supply chain, selling mining camps, construction site, and then went overseas, had a stint at playing rugby in rugby league in New York City, which is a bit random because they're not really known for that over there, but got the opportunity through playing league here in Queensland. So that was an amazing sort of gap year at the ripe old age of 29. Had my 30th birthday over there in Manhattan, which was awesome. And then came back to Queensland. Wanted to come back home to the Gold Coast, but initially Brisbane, where the obviously work was, and I actually wanted to go back to New York. I loved it that much. So I was looking for companies that had, locations or offices there. And I found a geotech consulting firm. And for people out there, that's basically affectionately known as the dirt doctors. They're amazing, very smart people, but they can tell you how soil and ground interaction and all the really technical engineering stuff. So for me, I had no idea what they did. They probably had no idea what I brought to the table. But I had a great 3 or 4 years, and that really catapulted my life into construction and engineering. And that was a wonderful experience. And then from there, went to a tier 1 contractor in Brizzy, which was really even such a great experience because it gave me opportunities across all walks of life in terms of sectors, so building, mining, oil and gas, and then your big transport infrastructure. So really diverse opportunity there. Then wanted to be a bit closer to home, back to the coast where the heart was. I was travelling up to Brizzy. As we all know, the M1, it's only gotten worse. So spending too much time on there. So found myself with a Gold Coast civil contractor, and then did a few years there, met Dave, love at first sight. Not really. But yeah, worked with him, a lot of respect. He's in the delivery side. I was very front-end, pre-contracts, work winning. So we were affectionately known as the Promises team, and then we'd hand it to Dave. He was the Sorries team in delivery. But yeah, so that sort of blossomed there. We thought we'd roll the dice and have a crack, and we're nearly 4 years old, which is exciting. And it's been an incredible journey up and down, which you've been a very important part of this, Kyles, and we couldn't do it without you. And love having you part of the team as well, and the Kan Culture family. So and here we are today, where I think we're up to about 15 of us now, and growing organically, or when you let us. Yeah, so it's really, really exciting. But yeah, that's a bit of a snapshot of me, and just very, very blessed, have an amazing family, extended family, got awesome friends, all walks of life. From sport's been a big part of my life. Still got best mates from footy forever, like over 20 years. I got mates from 30 years ago, when we were kids, and then now all people actually that I spend a lot of time with is people in the industry. So who have been colleagues and now are really close friends. And yeah, so I'm very, very blessed, very lucky, and I'm sorry they all have to put up with me talking too much, which you have to do today. So yeah.
And we'll come back to Landy, but you also do a lot of things within the community and within the local chamber. So tell us about just a snapshot of the different hats that you wear outside of Landy at the moment.
Kyles, I'm glad you asked me that, because I was on a podcast recently with the amazing Lauren, and I completely just and I've been on one before, and I've never speak about this, and it's not a sense of being embarrassed, or maybe it's a bit humble or humility. I just figure in my life, I think it comes down to what we can do and how long ever we have on this earth is from a legacy point of view. And my biggest thing, even as a young age, Mum would say that I could be friends with the kids in the band or the footy team or whatever. Relationships are always important. So that relationships piece into what can I give back as a legacy. So when I leave, maybe it's things that are better than when we started. So long-winded intro to that is, I volunteer all across the board. So I've been with the Southern Gold Coast Chamber of Commerce for 5 years, vice president there in a volunteer role on the board. I've really enjoyed that. That's how you and I met, which is, unbelievable. But then also it just opened my eyes to other industries, not just construction engineering. I've learned so much. I meet incredible people there, incredible networks, and then even almost a connection piece there with others that may not necessarily work with Landy. I think true to my heart, my footy background and playing, I guess, at that sort of Q Cup level, I've wanted to give back to the sport. And my, local Q Cup team is the Tweed Seagulls, and I've been there coming up to 5 years as well as one of their board of directors. I absolutely love that. I'd pay them to do that, but don't. Hopefully, BL, you're not listening. It's a volunteer role, but it's, amazing people there. We have a diverse board. And then just the other things that about me, I'm doing a mentoring program for at-risk kids now, inspiring brighter futures, which I get more out of that than the mentees and the kids. It's, they've got some real challenges, and in a small way, from my mistakes or my lessons learned, to give back for that hour a week. And we have an incredible facilitator. But the program itself, I actually want to take back and utilise into my life. So, that's quite amazing. And then, I guess I pop up in all different other things. I didn't realise the other day, but I must have done it months ago. But I signed up for, I'm now on the industry advisory board for the City of Gold Coast for the new planning scheme. Of course I am. But I'm really excited about that. Amazing people in the room. The old statement where, if you think if you're the smartest in the room, you need to find a new room. Well, I never have to worry about that, so I'm lucky. There's a few other things as well, but I love sort of, giving back. I do a lot with the Mark Hughes Foundation. That's probably another one dear to my heart, of losing Dad to brain cancer. But I actually got involved with the Mark Hughes Foundation beforehand, because it was a young footballer that is fighting Mark Hughes, and he's doing an incredible job now, and what he's done and the money he's raised, him and Kylie and the family. But just seeing someone struck down in their prime with such a horrendous disease. So we still haven't found a cure. But so every year I did 150k trek with 65 other people last year to raise money. We raised 300,000. I think this year they do it every year. They raised another like 500. Did that from Sydney to Newcastle with limited training. So that was a bad mistake. Couldn't walk about 8 weeks after it. So anywhere, I'd like to think if, heaven forbid, if I was to, it would all be over tomorrow. My life is, at least people go, it's affectionately called Yates. He'd give you his shirt off his back and do anything for you. And you can call him in the middle of the night or whatever time, and I'll always be there for you. And that's not necessarily always your closest friends. I just think people, community in general, for no other reason, no expectations, and probably really it's sort of built into me because, real inspiration is looking at Mum. Like Mum's volunteered, her whole life, and she's at John Flynn Hospital now. She's at Crumman Wildlife Hospital, so she's doing the animals and the people, and she's 15 years plus. And always, and even her mum, Lifeline and all these sort of things. So I think, that helps you also, that gratitude, to be quite grateful, and we're very blessed. And I believe as long as you got your health, you're fine. There's nothing else. And we all get stressed, and we have chats, you and I, and I love you. You're an absolute pillar of strength to me as a young business owner, and I'm an emotive human. But I think, having that support network really gives you that gratitude, but then also then giving back. And, I've done other things too, but I don't want to put your listeners to sleep. So, yeah. But I'm proud of that, and thank you for asking me, because I never talk about it. And I do keep it to myself, and but because it is, it's not about me. It's not about me.
But what I do love about you, Josh, whether it's you as a business owner for Landy or the stuff that you do in the community, you are a massive connector, but it's a lot deeper than that for you. You obviously have such strong values within the core of your soul, and I think that really shows with the work that you do at Landy as well. So we'll get to the company culture in a moment, but I want to kind of hone in on you and Dave. You and Dave, have such a beautiful connection, if I could call it beautiful on a podcast.
Yeah.
You guys absolutely adore.
You might want to hear it. We just had a meeting with a client, and you might not have said that after the meeting, because I basically just paid out on him the whole time, which the client loved. But no, yeah.
So what is it between you and Dave? When you started talking about starting Landy, what was it about that connection between you and Dave? Because it takes a lot of courage to go out on your own, and it takes a lot of courage to do it with somebody else, to partner with someone else. So what's that special little thing?
Yeah, well, firstly, and you know this, you've done this yourself, and you and I talk about it a bit, but I couldn't be more grateful and so thankful that, especially through the challenging and adversity and the hard times, like everyone, when it's rainbows and unicorns and you've won this and you're high-fiving and clapping and cheering and enjoying too many margaritas, it's all smooth sailing, right? But when you're in the trenches, adversity, and Landy hasn't been all smooth sailing, and I think can't imagine not doing it with someone else, like having that partner, but then also I couldn't imagine doing it without Dave, which is, he's and so perfect too. Like, we do live in different city, like in terms of Goldie, Brisbane, different, friends and all that, groups and all that. So we're not necessarily in each other's face and pockets, but when we're together, like we have a good time as well. Like, it is like, I almost put it down as family, like brother. Like, I don't speak to, I think both our wives can attest to this, I don't speak to anyone more than I speak to him. And, I think they're worried we're married, but and look, even with us, we don't always agree either. And I think there's that mutual respect. And I think we've only had one sort of lovers proper tiff a few years back. But other than that, it's that mutual respect and trust, and try and get that in all relationships anyway. Like, as I say to everyone, him and I could actually do this on our own, but stronger together it's actually really true and rings true as well. And Dave's the dreamer, and take the risk and all that. And I take calculated risk, but I'll want to know if this goes sideways, how sideways can it go, and then what's plan A, B, C, D, and E. And I'm not saying he doesn't think that, but we are yin and yang. Yeah, it's just a shame he likes rugby union. I love rugby league, so union.
You guys definitely have a really special relationship, and if we take that to the team, so if we look at Landy, and yes, you and we haven't even gone into what advisory and what developments do, but keeping it from a culture perspective, in building the team, you do have your paths that you play, but you guys both come together so well to have those little you're not afraid to have the conversations. You're not afraid to wholeheartedly support each other and back each other and give each other the confidence to make the right decisions within Landy, which is amazing. Give us a quick rundown of advisory and of Landy Group.
Yeah. So I won't. It is a bit of a long story, but I'll do it as quick as possible. So this is not a 5-hour podcast. This is now Sunday. No. So there's the 3 business streams and even a 4th now. But quickly, Landy Advisory is how it all started. in a nutshell, it's professional services capability consultancy. So that can be project management, business development advisory. We have an incredible submissions tender team that I wish I could clone them. They're amazing. And we have technical support as well. So what I mean by that is we actually carry construction delivery people that can go out to site and actually deliver it and for another client, put their badge on, and some of them have already done that, or they can sit in tenders and write methodologies and program and get right into the construction side. So that's quickly that. There's heaps more to it, but then there's Landy Developments, which is pretty straightforward. It's a civil contracting business, so they literally go out and push the dirt and do the civil works. So that's like any civil contracting business. And then, but we're special. And then the last one, Landy Commercial. So that has a different element to it because we've actually brought a third party in as a director owner with Dave and I, and that's purely commercial secondment roles, like similar to advisory, but legal, contract administrators, and then anything to do, I guess, within the delivery phase around procurement and a few other key requirements. And then the fourth one is Dave and I, because we clearly have way too much time, which is not true. We're having an attempt at our first development ourselves, where we buy the land, do the civil works, and sell it. So we're learning a lot, going through all that process. That's separate to the business, but obviously him and I are involved in that. So that has no impact on Landy. Yeah. However, there's opportunities there that, if it all goes ahead, Landy Developments, the civil contractor will come in and do the civil works. Yeah. So that's about it, and the four of them. No other businesses at this stage. I'm just waiting for Kan Culture to buy all of us, and then I can get back to surfing. Deep pockets, Kyles.
So let's talk about team culture.
Yep.
So you and Dave, you spoke to me first when Landy was still very much in infancy. I think I put Kat's contract together, which I think was maybe number three. Yeah. And at that time, I will never forget that conversation, being a HR professional and hearing you sit there and talk about what was actually important to you for Landy, what was important for the growth of Landy. It is very much a people first mindset. So can you talk us through what's important to you as you build and grow the team from back then to now, and things that are going to be legacy for Landy?
Yeah, well, you've absolutely nailed it there. But I think to start with, even though this happened after you and I met and Kat's contract, I went to an event at the Seagulls as well, and Beck Frizzell spoke, and hopefully she's listening to your podcast so she can sponsor it. Hey, Beck. Basically, she looked into the room, like she was talking, and it was all about leadership, obviously being quite successful in her line of work with the Frizzell Auto Group. But she spoke about, which really resonated, and it was almost like that moment where the light comes on my head from God, and it was like she looked at me straight down the barrel, and she said, always the person first. You'll teach them the technical side, person first. Take, if it's them, and even if there's two of them or three of them, get them all. And the rest will work itself out with the person first. Especially, and you're probably better off to comment on this in terms of the resource market and good people and with the right models. So for us, that resonated, but scaling back, it wouldn't have only been a few months before when we did that for Kat, is that it's always has been the person first. So for me, going back to that comment, we could all do this on our own. I even had a meeting about 2 hours ago with a potential person joining us where I talked about, what I really love and what I really get out of bed for, it's genuine and sincere and it's just the best is, when a client rings me up to tell me either good news or about a team member or the team members won something or whatever, and then to go and deliver that news and seeing their wins and from their hard work, right? Like even if someone rings up and go, oh, hey, Josh, you've done something good here and we've done this, I don't get the same feeling personally for when it's a team member that achieves something, succeeds, whatever, right? And it might not even be Landy stuff. It might be their personal life or that they share with. So that's really important for me, the person first, because I reckon, and you're in the team. I reckon we're a motley crew. It's not like we've got a whole bunch of the same people. Absolutely not, right? And we're not even all together all the time, as you know. So we only get together a fair, I don't know, 3 or 4 times a year. But when we do, we have a really good time, and they're all their work ethics are amazing. And what I love too, as I said, back to even the Dave relationship, it's all unicorns and rainbows. It's all great, but you really see people in the backs against the wall, adversity, the challenges, and I don't mind saying this, as I love every single one of them. I wouldn't change any of them for the world, and I sincerely believe that, and they're the reason why I turn up. And we can turn the podcast off. I'll tell you this down the pub later. I'll tell you this wherever. I'll say the same thing to family, right? And that's why I do it, because we could do it on our own, but that's I'm a big believer in sort of living, not existing. So I think for me, that opportunity, and I learn so much off them, and they're brilliant at what they do. Like, you could get heaps of business owners who come in here and say the same thing. And that's good. Maybe we're all biased for our people, and we saw even Zach commented, the president yesterday, comments that came back from where we found our people, was if someone made that comment about the chamber. Well, for me, I've found my people, and that's what I said. And it's interesting because we do get people outside going, oh, you're very, you're friendly, or you with your staff, you guys all get on like mates. And sometimes you can look at that and go, well, like, why doesn't always have to be? And that's what I love about Landy. We can be different, right? And I'm sure I've shown and grown as a leader if you've got to have the tough conversations. But I have a saying, if you have this amazing relationship, tough conversations just become conversations, and we can disagree and challenge. You and I have had that, and I can go have a beer or a non-alcoholic drink with you straight afterwards, right? I don't hold grudges and all that, and I think that helps you grow. So I don't know if that answers the question, but for me, people first, like the person first.
I think something like that's pretty unique across the clients that I work with Landy. We have never put an ad up on Seek. It's not even a question to do that, because it's not necessarily because yourself and Dave are so connected, but it is that handpicking of individuals to join the group. And I had an experience of really hearing that when we're at after the lunch a few weeks ago that Landy sponsored, and someone was just in absolute awe of the energy of the team together and the way that the connections were. And it is just that handpicking, because you know who the right people are to bring into Landy. And as you said, you do teach them, and you have taught people their skill set. But it is the behaviour and it's the work ethic that you can't even ask questions like that in interview, So you guys have actually pulled together a bunch of champions, in my view. Like, they are really amazing human beings.
Like on that, some of them just need people to believe in them that maybe they haven't previously in their career. So I think, opportunity as well, because they've absolutely come out of their shell and their light, and like I said, I wouldn't trade any one of them for the world. And
you talk about retention. Retention's a huge issue, across the Gold Coast, but it's not just for the Gold Coast. Like, retention is a real issue for a lot of organisations. But because of the way that you do really lead the team with heart, and you do take an investment in people's personal lives and what they're doing and what makes them tick. And, you would normally say, okay, well, is that the smartest thing to do if you want to grow and scale? Can you grow and scale that? And I think with Landy, the answer is yes, because you do lead with heart, and everyone within the team leads with heart. So being able to capture that from a culture perspective so that you're bottling up all those right ingredients as you do kind of grow and scale is going to be amazing. It's going to be really interesting to see what the team looks like in 3 years, in 5 years' time.
Oh yeah, and that's the exciting part, right? And I think, like you touched on a few things there, but even to the relationship side of the chamber where we met you and coming on board, and then, even Tweed Seagulls of like, how are you going to get something out of a footy club? We've hired 3 people, not from the Seagulls, but through the Seagulls network. They've found us, and it's not necessarily like-minded people because they enjoy sport. It's just incredible people with incredible skills, but the right person. We are very fortunate to, yes, there's been somewhere that hasn't had the skills, but they're just the amazing humans. But we are very lucky. We have the best of the best in skills who also happen to be amazing humans, right? And so that's something that Dave and I are really proud of. But yeah, we just love being around them. I think the culture, and as I said, we are spread out in that, but everyone talks about culture, but maybe it's from a background of sport since I was 4 years old, like playing in a team sport. I think there's a lot to look into that, especially in the corporate world, especially, I've been in construction 25 years and I don't know how to swing a hammer, like seriously, but I know enough to be dangerous now to sort of talk and imagine talking geotechnical engineering. But that's a great story though, and the fact that it was hard. My first 8 months, they were like, why is this guy here? Just some loud Gold Coast surfy dude, footy guy. Like, what does he know? And I'm sitting there going, these introverts, but they know how to read what the dirt's doing. But once we worked out together, we were better and stronger. We started going, my role was BD, so I was breaking out opportunities, but they realised what I brought, I realised what they brought, and we were going to meetings together, and there was that mutual respect. And I think that taught me a lot, and I've had many lessons on the way, many self-reflection points as well, and who I want to be, which has all led to Landy, and the culture is that, I don't want to change. I don't want us. I like that, they're into this sport or this their kid's name or whatever, and I realise that would generally might change if you're 100 or 200 because that becomes hard, but I don't really think Dave and I have aspirations to be sort of that size. I think it needs to grow organically, right? And complementary type skill sets and that. So for me, I think the day, and I say it every day, and I'm very blunt, as you know, and in terms of raw and emotive, I just say, Dave, the day we sell, like our culture changes or goes out the window, or we're not what we're, our very fabric and why we started, I don't want to be part of Landy anymore.
So what would you say to someone who's on day one? They've just started and they're listening to this podcast.
I'd tell them who to stay away from if you don't want to be drinking margaritas by lunchtime. I'd give them the tip of which team members, or don't get caught at a bar or a shout with. No. Day one, for me, I would want them to feel that culture almost instantly. And I know it sort of comes out at a time, but I think we could pull that off because – it's funny when you made that comment about, hey, what are these guys? It's the amount of people that have but have reached out and go, hey, if you're ever looking for this, and this, I'd love to join you guys because I've only been on the outside, or I see what you do, or I've been at an event with you and your team, or you guys haven't even been there and I've met just one of your team members, and I just love, I don't care. I'll just come work for Landy. I'll do anything, that's the ultimate compliment, right? Which is really cool. Yeah. So for me, for the day one, is that initial, not like setting the standards, but like this is who we are. We do, and as you know, we do have standards in terms of, we work hard, but we also recognise and reward in numerous ways, remuneration or different type of events or education and training, and we try and offer it all. But for me is they understand that we're a team. I think what's really exciting is we do have a couple of new team members now where the others it's not their job, but they're jumping in and helping them. And for me, that comes back to that sporting analogy, right? And not getting right into the footy side of things, but if, your forwards aren't making meters, your backs aren't doing anything, you're only as good as your weakest link. And your team is your team. It means everything. Like, why do you think I'm still mates with guys I won grand finals with 25 years ago and go on my annual camping trip with, and I probably speak to them the most on WhatsApp, and that, because there's a bond there, and I feel that with Landy as well. Like we're all in it together, and I really want them to see that.
So, Josh, I've got one final question for you. If Landy were a song, what song would it be and why?
Definitely not Highway to Hell. That was my wedding song. No, just kidding. Good question, Cos. Well, Dave and I are tragic 90s grunge fans. He's probably the self-professed Pearl Jam. And quick insight to him, he latest Pearl Jam gig, he actually got a minivan with about 9 mates, and he drove around Australia, well, east coast of Australia, to all their concerts. So it would be very remiss, and he'd probably kick me out of Landy if I didn't say a Pearl Jam song. So I'd say Even Flow.
Even Flow? Yeah.
Not just because of the song, but I just feel we do go with the flow, but it's a calculated, strategic flow, and it's an exciting flow, and it's a diverse flow. I don't even. That's probably got nothing to do with the song. I love that song, but yeah, if I'd say he'd be proud of me. Even Flow, Pearl Jam, but there's a million Pearl Jams I could probably. Yeah, I definitely don't want to say Rearview Mirror. That's a good song, and I've got Dissident, all the. I could sit here for hours on Pearl Jam, but yeah, let's go Even Flow. And one last funny story about that.
See a couple of lines.
No. We got that crazy. I can say this now because it was years ago. Dave was a part of this too. We were just getting that crazy on a massive bit. Kat was as well. We were on a tender, and we were just tender fatigued. It's going for months. And anyway, and then we thought, let's play a game, even though very professional. How many Pearl Jam songs can we get in, sneak into the words and that, and or the executive summary, if you will. And Even Flow was the first song we got in. So and we won. So hopefully the client was a Pearl Jam fan, but who knows? But Coles, I reckon, Even Flow. I'll probably think of something outside that might have been better, but I'm happy. I'm happy with that. It's a great song too. Yeah. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today, Josh. It's been an absolute pleasure. And from my perspective, I've been working with Landy for the last couple of years, I think. I think it's probably...
Time flies when you're having fun. Yeah.
And have seen the team grow, and it's such a privilege for me because I'm always so proud of I am proud of the way that you and Dave manage the team, but it's also the things that you come to me with when you just want to kind of test your thinking on things. Like it shows such high integrity and such high respect for the individuals that are in the team. So to me, my role looking after the people and culture at Landy, it's not just about putting in the policies or making sure that you're compliant. It is about really honouring that really human and that heartfelt touch that you both put into Landy. It's an absolute honour for me to be part of the Landy team, and I'm so grateful to be part of the Landy family.
Well, we really want to thank you, and I think if I have the quick opportunity to say how grateful and I'd like to think if you could sum us up as genuine, and we're very genuine about our feelings and just ultimate respect for you and what you do, your business with Kan Culture, and you're an amazing pillar of strength that I've lent on as a business owner, trying to learn as we go, as you know. And I'd like to share with your listeners as well that I think that practice what you preach, in the fact that, we feel you are a part of our team. And I know Kan Culture and your brand brilliant, and I'll promote you every day of the week, but we see you as Landy. You come to all our events. We include you in everything we do. We tag you in everything. You are Landy to us, and we're very grateful. And that's that team philosophy, right? And we can't do it without you. And quick plug, best in the business. If anyone needs HR support, call Kylie, please, because and I know I said that in a room of 200 people the other day, that's genuine, and we're very grateful, and hopefully. We have you for many, many years to come. You can't run away just yet. So
I will be sticking on, and I love being part of it, and I'm really excited about what the future of Landy and what the growth is going to be over the years. So thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you everyone for listening to the Kan Talk Kulture podcast, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me on Kan Talk Kulture. I'm Kylie Anne Neal. I hope today's episode gave you a clearer view into the values driving your workplace, or sparked new ideas about building a remarkable company culture. If you're a founder or CEO interested in sharing your culture story, or if you're looking to build a safer, stronger, and more trusted workplace, let's connect. Visit kanculture.com. That's KANKULTURE.com to learn more. Please hit that subscribe button to hear more real conversations with founders and CEOs and hands-on episodes full of people-first culture advice. I look forward to connecting with you on our next episode.